Welcome to another episode of Commandology. I'm Dr. Mobgrinder. This video is coming to you by way of request from Haruki-kun. We've got a variation to our command block slot machine. We've got brand new randomizer, variable odds, variable prizes, and we even threw in a progressive jackpot. Now, I've already done the entire build video from scratch. It's about a 1-hour video, and I'm going to post that separately. But I decided to make a condensed version, something a little bit more bite-sized. So we're going to jump in right here. You see we've got a whole fleet of armor stands, and this is going to be the cornerstone for our randomizer. So we've got 3 rows. We got 1 diamond, 3 gold, and 5 iron armor stands in each row. So we'll go ahead and just, as an example, take a look at this. So we would name an armor stand using a name tag, just like that. But we would also add the tag, /tag, add entity, type equals armor _ stand. Pay close attention to your radius when you're adding these. We want each row to have a unique tag. We don't want any cross-contamination that's going to mess up the whole randomizer. So we should have stand 1, stand 2, stand 3. 3 teams of 9. So we'll jump in right here. We're going to teleport a random armor stand from team stand 1 over just behind a display. And we'll jump over here and take a look at where we're headed. So this is where our armor stands are going to end up. And this is where their other sensors will determine what is the appropriate block to place down. Next, identical. We're only adding 60 tick delay to this. And we're changing it from stand 1 to stand 2 on the tag. And we're changing the destination coordinate by -1. Same thing. 60 ticks. As you can imagine, now we're moving on to stand 3, and -5 is the coordinate. Chain unconditional, always active, 80 ticks. And it appears we have an issue. All right, I see the issue. Easy fix. So the radius needs to be inside the bracket. Chain unconditional, always active. 40 tick delay. So we just killed all of the armor stands in that 12 block radius. Now we're going to reload the entire fleet. And then finally, we're going to set block the ignition point to air right back here so that we're ready for the next round. So this is where we're loading the fleet to. See stand 1, you can see to your right there the image. That is our entire fleet of 27 armor stands. So next we'll jump on over to our reward sensors. So we've got repeat, unconditional, always active, 10 delay and ticks. So what we're going to do here is we've got a sensor that's going to detect when a player's iron scoreboard matches 3. And then we're going to run a title command. Next, we've got chain conditional, always active. So here we're going to add a value of 4 to the player's diamond scoreboard. In essence, we're going to give the player 4 diamonds if they hit 3 iron blocks on the slot machine. Then we're going to reset the iron scoreboard. And then finally, we've got the level up sound to indicate that we have a winner. So the next 2 chains are going to be almost identical. We're only going to go in and change the block type and the color of the text, as well as the amount of the reward. So in this case, we've doubled it from 4 to 8. And now we're jumping over to the diamond. We've changed that text to blue. We've also added bold text, optional. I've set the diamonds here for 32, which might seem a little bit cheapskate, but keep in mind, if you hit 3 diamonds in this setup, you're also going to win the progressive jackpot. So my recommendation, keep the scoreboard for your progressive jackpot very simple in the beginning. Make sure everything's running properly. You can always go back in later and add color and add bold. Keep it simple at first. All right, this chain is going to be our payout sensor. So it's testing for a player that has a score, any kind of value on their diamonds with an S, scoreboard. And when it detects that, it's going to automatically give that player a diamond. But we're not just going to use a command block to hand a player a diamond. That would be too easy. We're actually going to create a separate structure. So we've got our structure block. We're going to set all of these coordinates to 1. I'm going to save mine as Diamante. And so now, anytime we're paying out a player diamonds, instead of the spam that comes with command block outputs, we're just going to load the diamond structure, the Diamante structure, over their head. Before we get too much further, we actually have 5 scoreboards that we want to set up. So we've got / scoreboard objectives add. So we've got diamond dummy. We'll go ahead and add an S to that for a second one, diamonds dummy. And we've got our iron dummy, our gold dummy, and then finally our progressive dummy. Again, keep that simple for now. You can make it fancy later. So we're going to go ahead and set display the iron scoreboard on the screen just to demonstrate this next step. I want you to be able to see the reward sensors and the payout structure in action. So we're simulating as if I just hit 3 iron blocks on the slot machine. Important, I gotta have the tag. And voila, I'm a winner. I never win anything. So as you can see, we had the title text, and I also gained 4 diamonds in my hotbar. Doing the same thing for gold. And we're going to do diamond. So it looked like it went well. However, it seems like the progressive jackpot did not come through. So just have a little work to do there. No big deal. We'll look at that in a little bit. So what we've got here is our shuffle simulator chain. So this is delaying ticks of 12. And what this is doing is testing for that armor stand. And if the stand is not there, it's going to be changing the block to simulate the shuffle of a slot machine. So this next one had a tick delay of 4. And as you can see, now we're going to set block iron. And delay and ticks 4. This one will be diamond. And we'll take a look at what the function of this is. And that's it. So this sensor here, this simulator is doing exactly what you see. And you notice that a regular armor stand does not change it. It has to match the tag. The tag like we were talking about earlier. So now we're going to jump into the recognition chain. So you can see it's testing not only for an armor stand, but with the tag stand 1. And we'll just step over 1, stand 2. We can barely see it off in the corner there, stand 3. So this whole chain is recognizing the output of our randomizer, and it's going to add that value to our scoreboard, and it's going to change the block on the display. So we're using Blackstone as a temporary filler. It's just a placeholder, so don't get caught up on that. With this next command is when we're going to set the block for the anticipated outcome, the dictated outcome based on the random armor stand that was teleported to that location. So now we've got chain conditional always active. Everything from here on out in the chain is 1 tick delay. And we're adding the value of 1 to that scoreboard. And so what we've got here, same exact thing. We've just switched it from gold to iron, and we've changed the radius that we're searching for that armor stand. And again, it's setting the block to iron, and then we're going to add a value of 1 to our iron scoreboard. Rinse and repeat. Now we're on to our diamond. Extended the radius to 13. We're setting the block to diamond. And as you can imagine, we're adding a value of 1 to our diamond scoreboard. And then the last command in this chain is we're going to play sound random.click at the player to indicate that that is the final outcome for that portion of the slot. And so all we've done here is copy and paste from the first chain to the second chain to the third chain, but make sure you go in and adjust those stand tags. And now at the end of the third chain, we've got a few more things to throw in on top. All right, so here we're getting into our progressive jackpot sensor. So we're just testing to see if iron matches 1. And now we've got a conditional if gold matches 1 and iron matches 1. That must mean that diamond is 1. So we're setting this progressive jackpot to add a value of 1 every time a player hits 1 of each of the 3 block types. Diamond, gold, iron is the only time it's going to pay in to the progressive jackpot, if that makes sense. So as I was saying earlier, it seemed to be an issue with the progressive scoreboard. So I just simplified that and removed the bold I want to see if we can get that working. So now what we're going to do is set each of those scoreboards back to 0, gold, iron, and diamond, so that we can get set up for the next round. And lastly, we've removed the tag slots from a player that has the tag slots. So this is our initial ignition chain. So this first command is going to tag a player who has at least 1 diamond in their inventory, and it's going to add the tag slots. So we've got chain conditional always active. This command is going to clear 1 diamond from a player who has the tag slots. Chain conditional always active. So here we're going to play random.shulkerbox open at the player with the tag slots. Chain conditional always active. So now we're going to kill the armor stands in that immediate vicinity so that we can be set up for the next round. Chain conditional always active, 40 ticks delay. This is really important. Make sure you don't miss those tick delays. This is that ignition point for your teleport armor stand chain right there, okay? Those were the coordinates that we're putting in right here for our ignition. So we got chain conditional always active. So we're going to summon. This is an extra armor stand just in case things go sideways. It'll be nice so that the system doesn't get buggy, doesn't get breakdown. Trust me, I've tested it. It's important. Like I said before, I'm going to go in and remove the bold on this progressive and see if that'll get it working. So I've intentionally left something out. So as you can see there, nothing changed, right? Nothing's happening. This is going to happen to you if you're building this, I promise. And it is because of a tag situation. If you have things not working when you know they should be, look at your tags. Either you have a tag when you shouldn't, or you don't have a tag when you should. Hey, our progressive jackpot scoreboard is working. I hope you found this video helpful. I appreciate you joining me. If you want to watch the full 1 hour video that I did step by step creating this build from scratch, the link will be at the end here. I appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch you on the next one.